And there we go. Hi guys, thanks for showing up. Do you hear me okay? Main sequence starting, yeah. It's not a lift off of Saturn 5 or whatever. This is just a live stream. Do you hear me? Yep. Thanks, Roger Rabbit. Yeah, again, thank you for showing up. This was quite a surprise. I just opened the wrong window here. That one. Yeah, it's just a few days since I had my 1 year live stream, and I didn't prepare a 500 subs in a while. I had the debunking of Simon Dan about 8 months ago, which got 14,000 views. And even then, the sub count didn't go up like it did yesterday or the day before. Yeah, Jimmy, you're a Saturn 5. That's what she said. But yeah, as you probably saw off the thumbnail, this video is sponsored by Where's Wally. I just can't say thank you enough to that man. He's done so much for this community. And for me also. You haven't seen what's happened in the emails the last months. He's been just that supportive. So, as I said in my other video, for those of you who had not been living under a rock for the last 20 years, go to Where's Wally and sub immediately. Yeah, so I started the other day with 470 subscribers. And now I'm at 717, Dick Dawson. That's... I'm speechless. Oof. So, because it happened that fast, I didn't have planned for that much in this stream. It was just overwhelming. It just... yeah. So 470, 500, 600, so that's 240 subs in 24 hours. Hey, Gary! Gary Wybenga is in the chat. Nitwit DC Spinners. And still you have no answer to my questions whatsoever. That's cute, Gary. Takk, Bjørn. Bjørn Georg Selbakk. Unge man. I'm 47, Bjørn. I think you want to reconsider that. So, Glober Mom, you're not an old subscriber, you're just been here a while. Wasn't you who commented that in my other chat or something? I think. Dick Dawson, Match Rocket, Gary Graham, Roger Rabbit, C4, Dick Dawson, yeah, Gary Little, Gary Isle of White, Gary Graham. We got 4 Garys in the chat. Gary, and of course, Gary. Jimmy, Alf Olsen, another Norwegian, Roger Rabbit, Björn, Gary, yeah. So that's 3 Garys against 1. I was actually in... Hey, thank you. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Where was I? Yeah. Flatards always claim that the flat Earth is going down in recommendations. However, I got a notification today that Red Pill Philosophy was live. Logical Troglodyte. Thank you. So I went into Red Pill's chat, and of course he started to laugh when I was there. And I asked him again about that wind turbine, and he ignored it. So I challenged him to a new debate, and sure, he said yes. So that will be coming up hopefully not that long in the future. By the way, Gary, you're early here. Are you subscribing again or what? And I said it so many times, Gary, the only measurement you need to worry about is my eye level. The distance from me to the wind turbines are varying from 47 from... Let me get that for you. Let me take this real slow. Over there, I'm just going to change a window a bit so I have... See what I can do. Oops, there. Yeah, Gary, do you see this? I'll close that one. There. Gary, follow here, please. Let's do this. I'm standing here, Gary. The turbines are from 37 to 47 miles away. Pick and choose. The height of the turbines is 300 something around, yeah, plus or minus 1,000 feet. Pick and choose. You can do whatever you want. There. Stop crying. Done, Gary. Yeah, as I said, hopefully we'll have a new debate with Red Pill Philosophy again. So, yeah. Julius, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. That was kind of you. So, what's up in the future? As I said last time, Moon Project. I'm gonna make a new info video and post it in one of the first days, I don't know, maybe across the weekend or something. And in the beginning of November, I'll be going back to the end of the world. And be sure of that, Gary. Now I'm going to make my height official. I'm going to nail that eye height. That's everything you have to concern about. My eye level. I'm going to nail it this time. Believe me. NA, hey, thank you for showing up. And the bacon. So you're not a nitwit. Well, Gary Wybenga, that can be discussed. Mom sees all, just like my mom. Yeah, that's true, Gary Graham. So, what shall we do? I was thinking about trying to get someone in here and have someone to talk to. So if anyone's interested in having a chat, I would like to try that and see how it works by using Discord or something. Just gonna add your another account, Global Mom. Do you have a sock account? Window catch. I'm gonna see here if I can just add. Give me 3 seconds. Okay. Then I need to have that one up. Ah, damn, I can't find it here. Delete. Oh well. So, headphones are good, yeah. Hey, John Watson. What else can we do? As I said when I started this, why is it black there? There I am. I don't think Waibenga want to go in here, Gary. He's never debating anything. Yeah, Global Mom, I know that one. It's a nice trick to get. I was just blocked by Phuket Word here the other day. I guess you saw that one. Hey, Robert Jair, thank you. So, any others that would like to join for a little chat or something, just to see how, if I can get all this stuff to work okay? Yeah, and I know he's a coward. Robert Legier, sorry. Gary Waibenga is not a troll. He's just that dense. Thanks, Michelle. I thought of one thing. John McMahon, thank you. I thought of one thing, and I'm gonna lose the chat for a bit. Let's do this. On my what did just happen video, after I was in the chat of Red Pill Philosophy, I'm gonna see if he answered now. Yep, he has. That's gonna be a new one. I hadn't seen this either. I have Planet Earth lovers everywhere. Of course, he had to come here and laugh at me. So I asked him why Red Pill did dodge my question all over when in the chat. I posted it 4 or 5 times, he just dodged it. And I asked him here, how did he do his measurements of flat Earth? He's so cute. They always just dodge everything. So, yeah. So much for Pelé. Webcam. There. Live streaming. Oh, Global Mom, that's not sounding great. Get well soon, please. Yeah, John, that's right. I heard Sean Hawkins just after I was live, and he said he's not a violent man, and neither am I. And he said something about punching his moustache. And I thought, I'm not going to say anything about violence. I'm not that kind of guy, but punching that moustache so it gets straight. That's just a joke. I'm not a violent person, please. Gary Graham, thank you for stopping by, and sleep tight. Don't bite the bedbugs. Hey, Red Pill! Yeah, let's take that in debate. I can explain it right now. Red Pill. Just gonna show you. Oh, yeah. There. You see that aperture in the camera there. When you have an aperture that size, that aperture reaches lower than that aperture when you're centered. Right about there. So the bigger aperture makes that aperture in the camera reach lower down on the ground than that one. And the pixel size inside this camera, it's so much bigger than the pixel size in here. That's part 2 of the explanation. Part 3. How can you tell that floor is 100% flat? Have you measured it? Watch my words. Why? Because I mentioned your mustache? As I said, that was a joke. I clearly stated it was a joke. Yeah. That's the one thing we have fun with you, that mustache. But yeah. So, again, that aperture don't reach that far down because a smaller aperture. And again, please make sure that floor is 100% flat. We had, I think it was Sloppy Warrior who had that video from the mall. And he had that floor with a model who was walking towards the camera. Please correct me if it wasn't Lily. But when you saw that lady walking across the floor, you can see the floor wasn't flat on the sides. So until you have confirmed that floor is 100% flat, I just can't take your words for it, Red Pill. Terrible explanation. Well, I explained my version. So it's your time to explain my observation. How far do I need to move a 1,000 feet turbine for it to end up below my eye level of 70 feet? Your time. I give you my explanation. If you're not happy with that, that's not my fault. I explain. Yeah, Global Mom, that floor was not flat at all. It's a bit of a lag here, but he should be answering my question pretty soon. I'm certain of that one. I have faith in him. Just like Gary Benga. I have faith in them both. I know they can do this. Let's get it up here again. There. Just in case you missed it, Red Pill, are you still there? Yeah, you are. The flatness of the floor is relevant when it's visible one camera, not another. Well, again, that's my explanation. That's the that's my explanation. Now you explain this one. Nenad Kubik, hey! If Gary is there, please, you can talk amongst yourself and, yeah. Again, Gary, let's see here. There, perfect alignment. Marvel, hey! Thank you so much. You also have been a big part of that when you posted my videos, mirrored my videos and all that. So thank you so much, Marvel. You're just a huge part of this. Gary, Red Pill, please, I'm waiting for an explanation. So, Gary and Red Pill, this is what you need to know, concern about. How do you need to be here? You can pick and choose anything you want. I can still see that top of the turbine. Red Pill? Still there? Yoo-hoo! Red Pill! Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tabs open. 11. So that's just a third of high IQ. Damn. Hey, don't tell me Red Pill ran away. Please. Really? Oh well, let's get rid of this one again. And back to me. Sorry. Oh, he ran away. Yeah, Robert. Red pill. Oof. He came, he saw, he asked, and he left. What are you saying, Robert? Is it 162 people watching? Are you kidding me? It says 32 here. Yeah, for leveling, I'm sure it's just lurking. I need to see this on the other. Just give me. If it's 100 people here now, I'm gonna soil my pants. And mute. What are you saying there? Oh, 33, yeah. Whew. I got the chills there for a bit. NNA, keep on working. The world needs people who's working, not just like me who is straight on the couch 95% of the time. Ah, tabs open, yeah, sure. Yeah, logical, that's just about red pill. Did I have anything new in that folder today? You twatted it. Thank you, Gary. As I asked here earlier, is there anyone who would like to join me for a little chat? As I said, I will really just check if I could get all this to work with someone in here. Just gonna do this in case. Is the sound still here after I plugged this in? Do you still hear me? Oh, by the way, I'm not all thumbs. That looks just neat, doesn't it? That's a homemade pop filter from 2 old socks, black socks, and some melt glue, a plastic lid, and a metal coat hanger with a plastic tube over it. So that's my pop filter. Right there. And back. Out of view. Yeah, thank you. Because last time when I had earlier when I had Gary Isla waiting here, I plugged in my headphones in my computer, and then it was just me who can hear him, not the other ones. So just make sure that everything works. Twat waffles, not blue. Yeah, don't Google blue waffles. Just take my hint for it. Yeah, my shortcut, they are. Just just a big black thick sock. So, yeah. But both Gary and Red Pill ran away after my question. Yeah. Speaker cover, yeah, sure, they made to do that, so yeah. What else can we do? Do not Google that. I have added some more material to my debate folder, but I don't like to show too much of it just in case Red Pill enters. Anyhow, hey, Forever Learning. Yeah, thank you. If don't I have you on the? Are you on Discord or somewhere else when I can contact you? So I can send you that link. Both names are gone now. Of course, Glove Mom. Thank you for checking. When out of proof, either run or throw shit. Yeah, that's a low one I can share with you right now. Back to this one. There's me, whoops. Is it that one? One of these. I had... I don't see the chat again now because it's back in the... here. Just gonna find... Yeah, this one. This is the kind of guy Gary Obenga gets when he's stuck in a corner. Some of us have our own business and a great family. Some of you guys don't work at all and use excuses like conflict fatigue, yet are up all hours of the night participating in the live chat. So here's my answer. That's a new low for you, Gary. I don't know if you're still there or just you're gonna see it either way, but that's low, and I don't care. I really don't care. But that's so cute. I'm gonna take it away now. In 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Just about there. And up. So that's the type we're handling with. Forever Learning, are you on Discord or somewhere else? And I can start in Discord. Yeah, sure. I didn't see you there. Sorry. Guess you can PM me. Are you using the same username? Forever Learning. I'll see here. I found you. And I'll get that streaming key in a little second. Where did I find that one? Here. I don't know if it works, but that we will find out in... No, I can just start... I know. Before we start, if you don't want to be on camera, just turn that off. I'm going to call you now. Eldenes, hi. You're writing, hey, I'm norsk, I'm Norwegian. Again, Forever Learning. I'm just going to start it now. And I put my headphones on. Gary, stop it. I'm chronically ill. I worked until 9 years ago. I was at work like anyone else. On a cold January morning, my body shut off. Stop it. You're behaving like a 5-year-old. This is below you.
Okay, can you hear me, Tommy?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes, too.
Cool. Can anyone else hear him? I just want to make sure. Should I call you Forever or do you have another name?
You can call me Rob, that's okay.
Rob?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. We have Rob here if you can hear him, or I need to find another sound source.
I had to mute the stream on YouTube because
Yeah,
Discord
otherwise you
is
get a
lagging.
crazy echo.
Yeah.
He can hear both. Yay! Nice. This is better than I expected. Hey, thank you so much, guys. So, Rob, where do you reside? Where do you live?
I live in the Netherlands in the southeast, so in the same time zone as you are.
So you live in one of the flattest countries in the world and you're still a glober.
Uh, well, yes, it's one of the flattest countries in the world, but
Yeah.
I live in the southeast province, which is called Limburg. Unfortunately, still on the flat part of it, but the south of that is actually hilly.
Okay, yeah.
That's the only hilly part of the Netherlands.
Just about here. I live in you have the biggest plains in the northeastern Europe across southern Sweden, and that stretches up to my corner. So just where I live, I'm in the corner of that field, and it's not more than maybe 50 meters height difference somewhere. Yeah. But right beside me, we have a little top. It's the difference is about 400 meters up, so that's our top.
We have a few hundred meters in the south, in the ultimate south.
Yeah.
Because these are actually the most northern foothills of the Ardennes, and well, it's mostly no, it's actually not foothills. It's actually more. It used to be a sea bottom. Due to plate tectonics, it has risen up, and all the rivers have made gullies in there, which are the valleys by now. So the
Ah,
tops are all equal height. If you're standing on top of one of these hills, you see that all the other tops are a plain. But when you're down in one of the gullies where these little rivers stream, it's like you're in a hilly country.
beautiful. My countryside is kind
Yeah.
of boring. I just have some houses around me along the road, and then there's just nothing. There's fields and a little top up here, and yeah. So I live in a boring place.
Yeah, the rest of the country is less boring. I guess we
True,
have
yeah,
all
we
these
have the mountains
nice.
and fjords and everything. I was
Yes, that's
planning a trip to go there just before now, but I hadn't had the energy. So it's 8 hours drive one way, and I'm setting up to do a trip to the end of the world in a few weeks. That's a 3 hour one way. So I need to take a trip to find something interesting.
uh-huh.
Let me
I've
just
been
address Gary again. Sorry. Up all hours. That's the thing, Gary. I have no control of my body rhythm, the daily rhythm. I sleep along and I am awake along. If you see here, this couch, here's where I spend 95% of my hours. So stop crying. Sorry, that one. He's just an asshole now. That's uncalled for.
yeah, Red Pilot out of the chat. He
Yeah, he
left.
ran away. Sure.
Yeah, I've been to Norway once
Okay.
in
Where?
the early 80s. I was a radio officer on a merchant marine,
Oh.
and we went to a Norwegian harbor in the southwest, if I remember correctly,
Okay.
to load salt to bring it to Delfzijl in the Netherlands to an extra factory where they make chlor gas for the industry out of the salt. I'm trying to find it on Google Maps, but because I don't remember the name anymore.
Yeah. Norwegian names can be difficult. I know that.
And I'll browse around a little bit more in Google Maps. If I see the name, I remember it.
Yeah, there's lots of small
Uh,
names there.
and it was actually, I think, on the edge of the mountainous region. It wasn't a big harbor, but we were laying over there for a few days, and I remember I and a few other officers were uh, uh, going out into the downtown and watch a movie in the theater, and it was a Clint Eastwood movie, and I couldn't follow a thing because it was all dubbed in Norwegian. I'm not used to that. Here in Holland, if you have foreign movies, they use subtitles. But
Yeah, we're pretty much here too. But I never seen a film or a movie in the cinema which not texted. But at least we're not in Germany where everything is dubbed. That's just too bad.
yeah, and this was dubbed too, so we actually couldn't follow a thing about the whole movie, which was a bit disappointing
Yeah.
actually. But yeah. Oh,
So
now
you've been a
zoomed in.
radio operator on a ship?
Yes, on a merchant ship.
Yeah, all over the world.
Yeah. Well, I didn't stay that long because after a few years, I got an offer for a job on shore, and the profession was dying out. This was in the time. I mean, officially, radio officers ceased to exist in 2000.
Yeah.
But from the 80s on, if you had all the modern satellite equipment and the fault-tolerant radio systems, you got dispensation for no longer sailing a radio officer. So
How did that work when you're mid seas? Do you have any cell phone signals or something? You didn't have cell phones in the 80s,
at mid-sea, no.
but you still have GPS.
Remember, this was in the time when Morse code was still in use.
Yeah.
So we had telex over radio, actually Tor, which was actually a Dutch invention, which is RTTY, so radio teletype with fault correction. And we had Morse code and we had telephony. And in the middle of the ocean, you just used the shortwave to contact radio stations on the shore. And you didn't always use your home country's radio station like Scheveningen Radio in Holland.
Yeah.
If you wanted to send a telegram, you just contacted the one but you could get a very good connection with, and you send off the telegram, and then eventually it ended up by at the addressee. But we had to listen in to our base radio station twice a day to see if there was any traffic for us. And because of the number of frequencies we had in the shortwave band, so that was 4, 8, 12, 16, 22 and 25 megahertz bands, there was always one that worked, especially if we had a lot of sun activity.
Are you one of the guys who can listen to a Morse and just interpret it in your head while it's going?
Yeah, and
damn, that's
the only
awesome.
thing is, I'm also a radio amateur, and I still use Morse code because I like it. I've only got one problem. I learned this using a typewriter, and I have always problems writing it down with a ballpoint, because within 5 minutes my hand cramps, and that's not funny. But amateur radio conversations tend to be fairly simple, so you can do it all from your head. You don't need to write down a lot, just the call sign and the QTH and the signal report, etc. And the rest.
But amateur radio isn't the same as it was before now after the internet has come.
No, it isn't. And after all these digital modes people use, but there are still a lot of people using Morse code. And there is even in each amateur radio band, there is a small portion reserved exclusively for Morse code operators.
Do you see the screen still?
Excuse me?
Do you see the screen?
Oh, I was still browsing Google Maps. Sorry. Yeah, I see the screen.
This is just down the road from me. There's one guy who have that's two. It's just one is the double picture, but this one is just down the road from me. So I think I have one radio amateur just down the road here.
Looks like it, but that mast and antenna, yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And he has a big Christmas light something in here, which he lights every year with a heart or something. I said, this is from there. There's new. Here, star, there.
nice construction he has there. The big ones on top, these are actually shortwave antennas. These are called beam antennas because they've got directors and a reflector, so they can beam the radio signal in a smaller beam. So You don't have the what's the effect called, where your signal decreases with the square of the distance. It's not true for these antennas because they don't send the radio signal in a 360 degrees circle, or actually in a globe like direction. They bundle all the radio signals in a beam with a width of probably 20 degrees or so,
Yeah.
depending on the number of directors. So they can work all around the world with no more than 100 watts of power, provided they use the right band. And if you look at the antenna, I thought I saw some traps in there, which are actually
Possibly.
coils that enable you to use the same antenna for different wavelengths.
Yeah.
So we can operate all the shortwave radio amateur bands, starting from just about medium wave, which is 3.6 megahertz, and then we got 7 megahertz, and then we got 10 megahertz and 14 megahertz, and going up 18 megahertz, 21 megahertz, 24 megahertz. And then there's a gap, and we got 50 megahertz, and then we go over to VHF, 144 megahertz, which is line of sight radio, 430
That line of
megahertz.
sight radio, because
Yeah.
yeah, is that a frequency where it doesn't bounce off the atmosphere or something, or?
Well, it does. It does in something that we call conditions.
Yeah.
But we are now at a solar minimum. If you're on the solar maximum, the different layers in the atmosphere, so the E layer, the F layer, get extra ionized, and we got something that we call scatter.
Yeah, I heard of
And
that
if,
one scattering. Yeah.
and then the VHF and UHF signals actually are reflected by the ionosphere. So you have a dead skip where nobody can hear you, and then they land back on Earth, and then there's an area where people can hear you again. So you can work DX, as we call long distance, bridging hundreds and hundreds of kilometers.
Yeah, because that's got,
Uh,
yeah. We
yeah,
have
but that only.
Gary I love W in here who wants to chat with you. I think he's a radio amateur also. So Gary, do I have you here?
I'm mostly operating HF, which is our code name for shortwave.
Yeah.
It means actually high frequency. And then your VHF, which is very high frequency, UHF, ultra high frequency, and
I think
SHF,
if
super high frequency.
if
we
you
even have our, we even have our own satellites.
damn.
Yeah, yeah. I lost count because I don't do satellite communication, but we launched over 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So it used to be radio amateurs you find everywhere. I mean, King Hussein from Jordan was one. All kinds of people from the butcher around the corner to people into high tech are radio amateurs, and some are found in the satellite business, and they took it upon them to build satellites on cost. Using the hours in their off time. They did it for free. So they built these satellites, and they had go to the same rigorous testing as all satellites that are launched by NASA. So it costs a lot of money. So there's a special foundation which is called AMSAT, Amateur Satellite.
Yeah, see, someone in the chat here just texted it.
Yeah, you can
Mixed
donate
Linux
money. You can donate money to get these satellites built. Nowadays, it's all CubeSats, I guess. And then NASA, they launched rockets with with more than one payload, and so they had this.
Yeah, I saw that one here a few weeks ago. They launched that CubeSat thing, but that didn't go exactly as planned.
But in years ago, it could happen that they had a place for 8 payloads, but only 7 payloads. So there was one place where they had to put in a block of iron or concrete to balance the rocket. And well, they were willing to exchange that for one of our satellites So we got a free launch. So
Cool.
things like
That's
a free
neat.
launch actually exist. So they took one. They did want something back. It was not entirely free because the amateur community is not very rich, and we had to come up with very inventive methods to keep these satellites in position and in the right. They're pointing the antennas in the right direction, and because these don't have cold gas or rocket motors or other thrusters to achieve that, they actually have a coil, a closed loop coil, so actually a shortened coil of many loops, which they can send currents through to adjust the satellite by having it push against the Earth magnetic field.
Oh,
It works
that
very
sounds quite
slowly,
high
but
tech.
it works. And NASA was always interested in the results of these technologies and the results of the telemetry reports. The satellites all the time beam down telemetry, and NASA was interested in the telemetry and how it was received in different weather conditions, etc., etc. So they actually got something back of scientific quality that they could use in their studies of the atmosphere, etc. So it was
Pushing
more.
satellites with magnetic field, that doesn't sound like a rocket engine. Doesn't sound like you're accelerating quite fast. That's
No,
that's a
it can
quite weak
take
force.
it can take days to change
Yeah,
a satellite direction for let's say 90 degrees or so. It's very slow because the Earth magnetic field is very weak,
yeah, of course.
and
Yeah, no.
but it's that kind of techniques were developed by radio amateurs. A lot of people don't know it, but a lot of radio technology was actually developed by radio amateurs
Mm.
and then adopted afterwards by the industry. For instance, in the time when we still had the colonies, we used long wave transmitters. There's still one such a machine transmitter in Norway, if I remember correctly, or was it Sweden? I'm not sure. Now it might be Sweden. It's actually a big machine, like a dynamo, generating megawatts of power in the low frequency bands, like a few hundred kilohertz. And these radio signals actually follow the curvature of the Earth, and they use this to communicate with the colonies. But it was a very expensive and a very big stuff because everybody was convinced that higher frequencies were totally unusable, and it was radio amateurs who discovered methods to use the shortwave bands and later on the UHF bands, and then afterwards
Yeah.
these technologies were appropriated by the industry who developed them further. And that's why we still have the exclusive rights to a lot of frequency bands in the radio spectrum up into the millimeter
Yeah.
wavelength.
I have a great picture here that debunks about everything about the denial of satellites. This is the top I was talking about earlier. It's called Mistberget. It's just a small hill, and I have one, two, three,
Mhm.
four, five, 7 dishes close to it that doesn't point near that top, and all of them are pointing due south to the television satellites.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
that tower is a big one to be in Norway.
a lot of people are confused by satellite dishes because nowadays, I mean, in Norway, it probably would be fine to use a parabolic dish because the satellites are so far, so low above the horizon that you can have a virtually a vertically mounted dish
We
looking
have
south.
about 23
Uh,
degrees inclination, I think, on the satellite dishes.
yeah, but if you're going more southern, where the satellites are much higher up in the sky, you can't use a real parabolic dish because it will collect rain and snow. Rain,
Yeah,
you can drill small holes in it to get rid of the rain, but the
I'm going
snow
to
will
find it.
stay in.
Yeah, I found a picture.
And the snow will stay in, and it fucks up your reception. So what they do to
Um,
alleviate that problem is use offsite dishes, offset dishes, where they only use the upper part of the parabolic form. So the bottom part is actually missing, which results in a dish that can be mounted much more vertically. Because the point that the part that would intercept the snow is missing, but it looks like these are pointed to Earth sources because of this effect.
Yeah, I have one here from around the equator, and they're all pointing directly upwards, and they're just mesh netting or something.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. But most dishes are offset dishes, and because of that, so you only have the upper part of the parabola and the center, of course, because you need to focus.
Yeah.
But the lower part is missing, so the general direction, if you don't take into account the receiver, they look like they're pointing horizontally, but they aren't. They are looking up.
Yeah, mine here is when I got one on my wall here, and it's pretty much straight up and down, and that pole is sticking up, but that's getting it from 23 degrees and mirroring down to that receiver thing.
But
So,
well, there is a very simple way to demonstrate that are actually satellites, because if you are a do-it-yourselfer, like most amateur radio enthusiasts, we use dishes for our own purposes. But you can have a real parabolic disk and have it pointed up at the satellites, and then use a set finder, which is a small device you connect to the coax to find the actual signal of the satellite. And then you look at the dish and you see it's actually pointing up.
yeah, I'm thinking about making taking a garbage can or a plastic can and wrap it with tin foil and some mesh nettings and see if I can find some satellite app on the phone. Just place that down to make a Faraday chamber around it and just point it against the sky, see if I find anything.
Well,
Just to point at satellites and not that big tower up here. So that's one of my other projects. I'm just gonna
mhm.
research a bit more and open some tabs about apps and stuff. So that's gonna be one of the things I'm thinking about doing. I just yeah.
If you go to a shop where they sell this satellite dish stuff, you can get a set finder. I mean, it's a very small device.
Yeah,
It
I have one in my
fits.
drawer
I
actually.
have one. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought one when
Oh,
I did the antenna here 10 years ago. Yeah.
hmm. And that one, if you pan your dish across the satellite band,
Yeah,
it bleeps whenever it sees a satellite. So it is
and it's
perfect proof.
that's just a tiny window on each satellite. That's not
Yeah.
much.
No, it's not much. It's without this gadget, you will never get your TV satellite dish pointed correctly.
No. The thing is, my that's my south wall, and the dish is right in the middle of my house. Is about 10 meters or 30 feet wide, and that dish is dead smack in the middle and pointing that way. And the tower I just showed you is that way on the other on the northwest side. So
Hmm.
there's that dish is in the shadow of that. Yeah, just like on airplanes when they have the GPS antennas on top of the planes. So I don't know why the flatards are getting the GPS from the cell phone towers. That's just stupid.
Well, um, like many lies they peddle, there is sometimes a grain of truth in there for
Other reasons that I believe, yeah,
very for very precise positioning,
yeah.
like these devices that bore tunnels through the earth um, for oil and the oil pipelines, etc. These are navigated underground from a central console, which uses GPS for positioning,
Mm,
but GPS is not precise enough for that. So you can have local sources of an extra layer of GPS. How do you say that in English? Enhancement, precision enhancement, like we used to have in the early days for the parabolic positioning
Yeah,
systems.
I used to work in the middle of the 90s, from 1994, late 90s to 2000. I was a surveyor on the airport they built on Gardermoen, Oslo Airport Gardermoen. And
You,
we set up a total new coordinate system from that airport, and we used satellite dishes or GPS dishes with a suitcase instrument sized thing. And 3 of them stood and just triangulated for just maybe an hour or something. And they were on solid concrete pillars, half meter, 30 centimeter diameter, and 6 feet down in the ground.
uh,
And we used that to establish a whole new grid system for that airport. And I think it was just about an hour every single triangulation. So that took a while for
uh,
many points.
well, last week a satellite was launched for enhancing the European navigation system, and it sends on different frequencies. So my current phone is probably not supporting that, but it also uses GPS for the rough grid and then fills it in with a fine grid for more precise location. But you can do that on Earth as well. We did use it in the harbors for what you remember what system was used? You had Omega, which was had a very low resolution, and there were 2 other systems. One was VHF, it was an English system. I forgot the name, and it had a resolution nowhere like GPS, but it was quite good for navigation.
Yeah.
And in harbors, you had local transmitters who enhanced the resolution of the positioning system, so they were anchored to the coarse grid, but produced a very fine grid for navigation inside the harbor. I just forgot the name of that system. It's also long ago. I mean, it's 30 years ago when I stopped sailing. So, well,
Yeah,
if I
things go away
Google,
with the age. I know how that works.
if I Google parabolic navigation system, it comes up, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go a bit here. You have a comment from where did he go? Robert Williams about at least the Flirt are smart enough to realize satellites don't work on flat Earth. They claim satelloons. And let me see here. Do you have this on screen in a few seconds? I believe, if I push the right buttons.
I'm not sure about the lag, but it is considerable.
Yeah, from where I'm seeing it, I first need to see they seeing it and me seeing their response. And
Because I've actually trouble following the chat because there is no synchronization between the chat and the sound I hear from you and you
it's
from
about
me.
15 seconds, 10, 15 seconds each way. So we have to wait
Oh,
about 15 to 20, 25 seconds. So
okay.
if I say to the chat, just in 3, 2, 1, press 1 now. We're going to wait a few seconds and see that in chat. In my picture, I got the Felix Baumgartner capsule and balloon. And that thing weighed 3,000 pounds. So that's a big one. But there are satellites who are bigger and heavier. So, wrong button. Just how big would those satellites be? And why can't we see them when they lift up? There,
Yeah, and
the
since
first one.
since when do we have racing? Oh, now the ones come. That's
Yeah,
more than 15 seconds.
That's the lag. Thank you, guys.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And how? Since when do we have racing balloons? Because these satellites are gone sometimes in less than a minute from horizon to horizon, depending on how low they are.
Yeah, so we should be able to see those balloons because they don't rush up like a rocket. They do some time going upwards. So we should be seeing that one. So where are the satelloons? And where are they tethered?
And how come we know where they are in 4 weeks from now, right up to the minute.
Yeah, that's
Very special balloons. Oh, I got a hint from Ninja Monkey Prime. He mentions LORAN. LORAN was the intermediate system. It was a medium wave. So the Omega system is long wave because it needs to penetrate the ocean. Long wave signals actually penetrate the oceans to considerable depth. So they were used for navigation by submarines, so they didn't have to surface to get navigational signals. LORAN
cool.
was medium wave, and there was one which was VHF, and well, I can't help myself now. I have to Google it.
Am I seeing the
Forgot the
video
name.
about 30 seconds later in the chat? Interesting. Yeah, Niels, the lag is from, again, what I say to you see it, and then for me to see your response. So that's a two-way lag. I have it on normal latency. I could have to low and ultra low, but
well, this works for me. If it works for the listeners, viewers, I mean,
yeah.
I'm used to listeners. Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
By the way,
seems like you have been into some stuff over the years with radio, so sound like a smart guy, to say the least. You know what you're doing.
I do have my own channel, but I wasn't in a position to make my own content. I still hope to do that in the coming weeks, because I have to. Well, I'm not a content creator in the sense that I'm chasing after content and then make videos with it. If I make videos, it's with content I have filmed myself by accident in the past years. And this summer, I filmed something that was quite interesting. It was during my vacation when I was participating in an archaeological excavation. I have too many hobbies. I'm a guy with too many hobbies. And one evening, we had a cloud cover from horizon to horizon.
Yeah.
With the exclusion of a very small strip in the extreme west, just in the direction of the setting sun.
Ooh.
So I saw this coming, and I sat outside my tent waiting for the sun to appear in this gap. And sure enough, it appeared in the gap just above the horizon, and it was touching the horizon. When it was touching the horizon, it lighted up the whole sky, the whole cloud layer from the bottom side. And that was amazing. And I'm going to make a short video about that, showing a map where you can see there are no large bodies of water in the neighborhood who could have been reflecting the sunlight.
Yeah.
So it must be direct lighting, but and you see the sun. And then on the same evening, in the same situation, I made another observation, which is much more interesting. I'm going to make a video about that, and the video is going to be called "Forget About Rainier, Mount Rainier, Explain This."
Yeah.
It's going.
When you post that video, be sure to. How many subs do you have, or do you have any?
6.
6 subs. Yeah.
I'm not interested in subs. I mean,
yeah,
I started my channel. I didn't actually start a channel. I just created an account to be able to comment.
Yeah.
And then people started asking anybody who wants to, please mirror this video, please mirror that video. So I started mirroring videos, and that's actually all I've got until now.
Everyone starts at 0. But when you post that video, please give me a hint so I can link it so more people can see it.
Yeah. First, I will just to assure a minimum level of quality that I want to adhere to.
Yeah.
I'm in a sort of on-off communication with Rider of Dinosaurs, and I'm going, when it's uploaded and still unlisted, I'll send him a link and ask for his. I'm asking him to shoot holes in it and to tell me everything what's bad about it. Then I improve on it, and when I'm actually satisfied it has a certain amount of quality, then I'll post it, and then I'll I'll inform you. And I saw on Discord some channels who have a chat group called Promote Your Own Channel or something like that. So I'll put it in there as well. And it might be a one-off.
Yeah, because I'm no big subscriber collector either. I'm not. Of course, I appreciate every single one of you. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not the one who's obsessed with how many subscribers I got. But when I went from 470 to now over 700, that's just because of Where's Wally. So
I saw all that. I'm one of your earliest subscribers, I guess.
You?
And yeah,
Damn! Thank you so much.
I don't know if you can see it in your history when anyone became a subscriber.
I need to check that. That would be.
I don't even remember how I found you. If I did find you or somebody mentioned you, probably some of the other guys mentioned you without doing actually shout out. And I immediately subscribed. And you know why?
No.
Safe really hit me in the head. I couldn't stop laughing for 5 minutes. You got this safe.
Yeah.
What's safe? What's that? Scandinavians against flat Earth. It was so funny. I have a very peculiar sense of humor, but I thought it was so funny.
In the beginning, I just had some boring videos. Everyone starts at nothing, of course, but I guess if I'm able to use my brain for a little while, I'm not that what do you call it, spontaneous. But if you give my brain a few minutes, I can do some nice things. And that opening, it didn't take 10 minutes to make it. It was just I need to make this, and that's what it. So
if you scroll all the way up to this chat. If you still have the...
Yeah, I'm just scrolling all the way down through my subscribers, and that's a long list by now. I just can't get over it. This is just awesome.
But if you come back to the chat and you scroll all the way up, you can see I actually found another explanation for safe. That's how I came into this.
There.
Oh, I can't even see it myself. What did I even don't remember what I said there. I can't see the top of the chat anymore.
No, you can't. You can't scroll all the way back. It stops in a while.
So now I have to invent it again.
The last one, first I saw from you was Ranty Flat Earth.
It was like a super agent for what did I make of the E? Ooh, damn, I forgot. For Earth, super agent for Earth. That was what I made of it.
Yeah. Back to my subscribers. That list has been awful long now. I'm just back in the number 4. Actually, BM Furball was my 400 subscribers, and that's a far way down already. I just can't get over it. As I said, I'm no. I'm not that obsessed with how many, but this is getting far.
By the way, people in the chat are still going on about the Satelloons.
Yeah.
And about how it is impossible that they can go so fast without burning up. I'm also interested in the in the manner of drive and navigation. How do they fly? Where do they get the energy from, and how do they know where to go? Because we know where they are in several weeks from now.
Yeah, it is predictable.
So I haven't seen any. Oh, Roger Rabbit found it. Super Agent Forever. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, hey. Thanks, Roger.
Thank you, Roger. You subscribed 4 months ago.
Oh, okay. And
so that's just in the middle about somewhere,
yeah. And
you don't know Wade's Underworld. Have you seen him?
Yes.
Yeah, he was my first subscriber. I have one earlier. That's gaming because I had one Gran Turismo video like 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, and then I didn't do anything until 1 year ago. And Wade's Underworld was actually one of my definite first subscribers.
Uh-huh. He
So
has a very nice channel.
from Norway, Rapid
I
X. So yeah,
I love him.
there's many great names here.
And Where's Wally is great, and of
Yeah, as
course
I said, I owe
Wolfie.
him this one. So
Wolfie is one of my heroes, and a lot of people probably don't understand it, but Flat Out is another of my heroes.
yeah,
He's
he's
actually
awesome.
the
The
he's
first video I
actually
saw of him, he was running down the street with his skis on his feet and
yeah.
some lead balls hanging, and he was trying to take off. And of course, I get him wrong that video. I had no idea what I was watching. But
Well,
then he was
every,
in an interview with someone else, and I just, damn, yeah, I should understand that one.
yeah, it's all posted under satire, I guess, so that gives it away a bit. And it was it was so funny. He's silent now, isn't he? I haven't seen
Yeah, he's been
anything
away.
of.
I saw him in my comments the other day. He was replying to someone else. So, but he's still around, but he's less frequently making videos. Just like
Okay.
Davis, what's his name? From England, Miles Davis.
Oh, I don't know him.
No,
No.
he is also one who is out and doing real world observation, and he was gone for 5 or 6 months or something. He has a terpene law footage which FTFE uses all the time.
Yeah. And Greater Sapien is very busy with
Yeah,
other stuff too, so he's
I
silent.
think he's one of the
He,
smartest guys we have on board.
he's also one of my heroes. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I have so many heroes. I'm over. I have over 80 subscriptions now,
The
and I
one
love them all. So
the one who started this for me 1.5 years ago was D Marble, who said the Earth is flat. So he didn't convince me, but after a while I started to go through all these videos, and the two first people who crossed my lines was Sly Sparkane and Soundly. And
yeah,
as I'm also a practical guy, I'm not that into that all that all that what we call it theories and space stuff and everything. I'm just keeping both my feet on the ground and do real world observations, just as Soundly and Sly Sparkane.
yeah.
So I've been a huge fan of those two for a long time. Unpaid Shields, thank you. And Nenad Kubik, thanks for stopping by. Go now. Yeah, see you later. And Jimmy, he's been subscribed for a while now. Yeah. So yeah, but again, I've been here for a year, and I had 470 subscribers on my one-day celebration, and then just to get 240 or 260 in one day, that was wow, overwhelming. So again, Rob, when you release that video, just send me the link and I'll post it for you.
Yeah,
I'll read it so
I'll
more
certainly
people
do
can see
that.
it.
Yeah. And I need to make haste because I can't say it here because there are not that many people around. But I've only got no. This is serious. I only got through to 6 months to live, and
Oh shit!
that means I don't have a lot of time to produce because you can imagine it's not on the top of my priority list.
Oh, now you made me
Yeah,
sad.
that's unfortunately that's the situation.
Damn.
I've got a pancreas tumor with the metastasis in the liver, and after 16 chemotherapies, they stopped working. So 2 weeks ago, I was given up, and the expectation is 3 to 6 months. I mean, that's a very rough estimate. It might
Yeah.
be a year, but I don't know. Nobody knows. It's very individual, very personal. Everybody reacts different. So,
You got me there. Damn.
and I'm not done searching for alternative options, but probably that's what I use to plan my activities, that time span. So I definitely do want to make these 2 videos, but the sources are still on the chip in my camera. It's a D800, by the way. And I need to find time in between more important things to. But it might. I mean, 5
There's
minutes
so
of
many different
video
things
might
in life
easily
that's
take
more
a
important
day.
than YouTube.
It might easily take a day to make those videos, and I'm going to do that using software that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Years ago, I never can remember the name of the thing. I bought video production software, and I've been upgrading to the latest releases until a few years ago. And damn, I can't even find it.
Yeah, but sure, if you have
And I'm
friends
going
and
to use
family around
that.
you, don't spend time on YouTube. That's just the wrong priorities.
Yeah. Well, I spend YouTube when I'm resting, laying in my bed. I have a laptop next to me on its side, so I can lay and rest and watch YouTube. That's when I'm on YouTube. For the rest, I'm.
Yeah, well, as I said before, this couch here is when I spend 95% of my time, so I know how that works. Hey, Jose, thank you for stopping by. Boom, yeah. Yeah, again, sorry about that one, but yeah, you really kicked my heart there, man. That was terrible. So sorry.
I'm used to the idea by now, so and I'm a realistic guy. I'm not a very emotional guy, so I just I took it for granted that okay, this is my future from now, so be it. I'm not not to be pitied. I just had bad luck. That's all.
Well,
And
may I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 62.
Oof, yeah. Sorry, man.
Damn.
You put me out there. Sorry.
Well, like I say, shit happens, or life is a bitch and then you die.
Yeah, yeah. Some things
That's
are certain in this life, and that's taxes and death.
yeah. Damn, now I try to design a video software and can't find it. I always forget the name. It's quite well-known stuff. It's not on my desktop. Oh, I forgot.
Just gonna address Andreas here. You can't live in North Norway and think the Earth is flat. The thing is, Andreas, all the 3D models I built on the flat Earth in SketchUp, the closer you get to the North Pole, the easier it is. So that's why I say that flat earthers are stupid, but flat earthers south of the equator and south of the Tropic of Capricorn, they are stupid.
Yeah, funny. Let's see, what have I here? Oh, no, I'm stupid.
No. With all that knowledge about the antennas and waves and all that, no.
I've got too many programs on my system.
Too many tabs open.
And
way too high IQ.
And this is actually I had this video software for years. The first version I bought was actually I didn't buy it as a software package. I had a lot of camera tapes on VHF and on digital tapes, and I wanted to digitize all that stuff into my system using a FireWire interface at
I tried
time.
that. That's slow and takes a whole lot of space.
Yeah, but we only had USB 1, so USB 1 was not usable, and FireWire was fast. It was actually used for frame grabbing.
If you had FireWire 400 or 800, I had 400, I think.
So I had there was a FireWire card in my system, and I bought a box with a FireWire interface, and you could plug all kind of video cables in it. And it used this software to digitize the analog and digital video.
Yeah.
For the DV cam I had, you could actually remote control the cam from the computer. And that's
I tried that a few years ago with my. I had some digital tapes from when my son was born 15 years ago, and that was just small DV tapes. And
Yeah.
at that time, the hard disk wasn't that big, so I just filled up the hard disk with just a half an hour of video or something.
Yeah, well, I my DV my VHF tapes were actually 180-minute tapes, so I could only digitize one at a time. And then I burned them to DVD, deleted it, and then went off to the next one. So that's how I did it. Oh, it's Pinnacle Studio. I found it. My
Robert
latest
Williams
release.
in the chat here says that your IQ is too high for your computer.
Thanks for the compliment. Well, I normally don't brag about my IQ because it's other people get annoyed by it. But yeah, it was Pinnacle Studio, and now my latest version is 21, which is it's not the most recent version, but it's good enough for me.
Yeah,
So I stopped buying upgrades. I had all
I
these.
use Photoshop Elements 13. That's 5 or 6 or 7 years old or something. So
Uh, And I got a green screen, but some of the upgrades had goodies with it, like a green screen, but it's actually just a plastic sheet folded up. So I don't know how usable it is. I never tried it.
yeah,
Got lots of plugins and other stuff to go with it, so it can make very professional videos. But I never looked into that. I mean, what I normally do is if for this archaeology club that I'm in, I'm the photographer and videographer. So that's what I use it for, to make videos of 2 weeks of digging for the reunion afterwards, to show 20 minutes of video.
we
And
got some strange laws here in Norway about that. Um oh, archaeological. Sorry, thing. If say it's a farmer who wants to build a new barn or something on his land, and he starts to dig for the foundation. If he then finds something that's old, and there's people there to check it out, he is the one who has to pay for that digging and all of the stuff.
now
That's
goes
in
it
the yeah.
goes even farther. If you're going for a building permit where you need to go digging, you first have to hand over an affidavit that there is no archaeological value in the ground. So it's like you need a clean ground permission to build, to make sure there are no chemicals in there. But the same goes for archaeological finds, and this is all down to the Agreement of Malta from, well, maybe 10 years back, where this is agreed upon the whole Europe, and that means that you actually have to prove. You have to hire a company to do some little exploration to make sure there are no old stuff in the ground, and then you can build. And even then, if you find someone, you're obliged to call it in. But you can imagine that not everybody does that. But every once in a while, you have a building company with the heart at the right place, and they'll do it for you. And then, of course, the guy who orders the building, it has to pay for the excavation.
Yeah.
But these are emergency excavations. There are three types of excavations. You had the emergency excavation because some building was going to take place. You had the scientific excavation, which is the stuff that happens in Italy, Turkey, Egypt, and so on, for scientific purposes, because we don't know enough yet about that what is researched. And the third one is you have an excavation because you know there's something there. I mean, you have probably a Norwegian equivalent for things that we call muntakker or coin acre or shard acre. Every time the farmer plows, stuff comes up, which is a fair indication that there's something below. And if this was known, there could be an excavation on the cost of the government. where this was dug up, and afterwards it was made ready again for farming, provided the farmer cooperated. This kind of digging is stopped because the current insight is if we see archaeology, real archaeology is only 100 years old, a scientific archaeology
Just gonna say,
instead of
Robert, thank you for stopping by, and thank you.
by Robert.
Yeah.
It
And
started
Bobby,
off.
thank you.
Archaeology started off as treasure hunting. I mean, people having long picks, sticking them in the ground, and if they hit something, they dug it up. That had no scientific value because a find is worthless without context. So afterwards, they developed the concept of an actually structural excavation, where you can find context layers. You go through the layers of history down to the oldest layers, and if you find something in a specific layer, you can use it to date the layer or the other way around.
Yeah.
And we made so many advances in the last 100 years. The current opinion is from, well, where would we be in 25 years? So if you know there is something in the ground which is of archaeological value, as long as it is not threatened by digging or building, leave it there. The moment it gets threatened, we can excavate it with the latest technology and
Yeah.
the latest science.
Technology only goes one way,
Because
so.
because one definition of archaeology is reading a history book by ripping out the pages. You can only do it once.
True.
So digging is deferred until necessary to be able to get the most out of it. So the third type of archaeology doesn't exist anymore in Europe. We
I
keep
just
it.
need to address Bruce Wolford in chats. Flat Earth exegesis. Sorry, but he just can't be dumbfuck of the millennium. This is for dumbfucks, not mental people. He's just a mental case. Sorry, but yeah, he doesn't fit in that one. And for him to be 47, I just was 48. I'm 47, so he looked like he could be my dad.
Well, I guess this guy doesn't accept everybody
I don't
as
think he takes care
a
of his
candidate.
body. I saw him
Yes.
in a debate once. I don't remember with who, but in Australian time it was 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and he was drunk before the sun was up.
Oh my.
So
Well, Sly won't allow people with brain damage as candidates for Dumbfucker of the Year, so.
hey, Christopher, what up? Yeah, it's good. I don't think that Ross guy can be dumbfuck because he's not just dumb. He's a mental case. He needs help, serious help.
I've seen more of them. Some are actually quite pitiful. It's unbelievable.
It
What
would be nice
talented
to know
people.
how old Flat Out Hero is. I think he's a bit tired. I think he's a bit worn. He's been through a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen Flat Out Hero.
I was trying to remember the name of
He was the
a
one
guy.
who had that $100,000 challenge for the flight thing a few months back.
Well, you should never take on a bet with a flurfer because you win, of course.
Oh, Global Mom,
Uh,
the shields are starting. Damn, thank you.
oh, we have to go. I'll just finish this.
We're
Just
gonna wrap
finish
this
this.
through, I think, and go
Yeah,
over there. Thank you for reminding me. We can't
I've
miss the shields.
just one remark. If you bet a flurfer, it's a warning for everybody. When you win, they start moving the goalposts, and when there's nowhere to go, they do a row bottom on you. So don't do it.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
oh, that
listen,
was very
thank
nice.
you so much for stopping by, and please prioritize your last time here on this beautiful earth. Do family stuff and friend stuff. Don't waste your time on YouTube, please.
I never waste time on YouTube. I mean,
I
it's on the
wish
bottom
all
of
the
my priority.
best, and
It
please
looks like I'm everywhere. I'm going to the shills now, but
yeah,
this is just when I don't have anything else to do. So
yeah. spend
Okay.
your every day as if it was your last, please.
Nice chatting with you and see you at the chills.
Thank you for stopping by, and yeah,
It was my pleasure.
everyone else, we're just gonna shut this down now and head out for the chills. So yeah, Dora, they're not gonna wait for me. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone, all subscribers, new subscribers, experienced subscribers, call it what you want, and I'll see you guys later.
Okay,
So,
bye-bye. And Tommy, congratulations. I forgot that.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, Rob. And I'm going to find the right buttons here. Again, guys, thank you so much for sticking here. I see the counter going down, and we'll just head out to the shields and speak to you later. Bye-bye.